Hi, friends. This is Joni with Three Feathers Spiritual Wisdom, here with your weekly reading from Spirit using the Tarot and Oracle card decks for the week of August 8th through the 14th. I hope you've been having a great August so far. I know it's been very busy for me. I am using today two decks that are fairly new. For the the tarot reading, I'm using my Jane Austen tarot deck. And for the cards that you get to pick, your interactive reading, card A, B, or C is going to come from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle cards. And see what your ancestors have to say to you. So today is a special day. It's 8/8 2021. It is the peak of the Lion's Gate. And I may do a post about this a little bit later, okay? And that will be on my Facebook page. So I'm feeling the energies. It's a portal that's opening up for healing and for transmuting our energies. And I'm really feeling it because I'm a Leo, the lion. Yeah. So let's get to our reading for this week. The first card out was the Six of Hearts, which is actually also the Lovers. This deck, the Jane Austen deck, if you looked at my YouTube, and I will have a link down in the description for that unboxing of the YouTube channel, the YouTube video, is that this deck combines some of the minor arcanas with the major arcanas. And I've got actually several of them out in this reading today. So we're going to have an energetic week, I think. But the first card out is the Lovers, or the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups normally shows a pair of children. It harkens us back to the wonderful time of our youth, when we loved freely and without any scars or um, any issues in the relation. We just loved unconditionally. And it was more of an innocent love. And maybe that's what this card means, is that we are tapping into that type of love for ourselves and for others around us, is that unconditional love that doesn't put any restrictions on anyone. I will love you if, kind of thing. It's like, I'm going to love you no matter what. And actually, I feel like we need even more of um, this kind of feeling, because we seem to have been at quite odds with each other. You know, depending on what side of the fence you fall on different issues. We need to cut each other some slack and love each other no matter what the other thinks. All right. You know, sometimes I'm amazed at what comes out in terms of the message. The next card that came out was actually two cards together, and they're both major arcana cards. One is the Nine of Diamonds, also the Hermit. Can you see him? And the other is the Ace of Diamonds, which is also the World. First off, the Nine of Diamonds, the diamonds in this deck is also the Earth symbol, the Pentacles. And the Nine of Diamonds, or the Nine of Pentacles, usually means wish fulfillment. But because it is the Hermit, I'm going to kind of combine those messages. The Hermit is seeking. The Hermit has been seeking that inner that inner love, that inner connection with spirit, and that wish for connection, that wish for abundance, which comes through connection, connection to spirit, connection to each other. So that energy is all combined this week, is that the wishes we are making are taking us on a journey where we seek something out and we attain that eventually. Okay? The world card, the ace, is always a fresh start. And what is interesting, again, the message of completion and uh, and a new start all together, completion and new beginning. And I feel like this is even, more evident. Um, I learn of people moving to a new home, people shifting jobs, shifting positions, getting, I am learning all around me of different people doing different things that show and demonstrate completion of one phase and the starting of a new. So maybe that's even more on the front burner this week. Okay? So you're seeking, you've sought, you've made wishes, you're coming to that completion, new beginning space. The last card for this week's message is the Queen of Spades, which is normally the Queen of Swords. This is not a major arcana card, so I am going with that. This is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is a very perceptive person. She's very analytical. She sees everything. She knows what the truth is, and she can get at the truth. Some of the negatives about the Queen of Swords is that she can be abrasive and cutting with her tongue. Um, and she can cut you. She can cut you. Anyway, what I'm feeling is the characteristics of this. I don't, I'm not getting the message or getting the feeling that this is a person that will walk into your life. But what I'm getting is the characteristics of her, that perception, the perception of loving ourselves and others unconditionally, this new phase that we've wished for that is completing one phase and starting another is coming, and we are much more perceptive and clued in. We're more conscious. We've reached a certain consciousness, and we're perceiving these connections so much more than we ever did before. This is sort of, I hate to use the word woke because I feel like it's being overused. I used to love that term, but it's now used for everything, which it doesn't mean everything. But I feel like more people are becoming conscious of the internal things about loving themselves, about manifesting, about the times changing. More and more people want the change, and they're being more perceptive about it and about what's going on around them. And also reaching the truth that's in us, the truth of ourselves, the truth of our uniqueness, and appreciate them. I know a bunch of people who are starting new creative projects, whether it's painting or artistry or anything else. It's that we're letting the inner artist in us, the inner creative out. This is awesome. This is awesome energy. This is an awesome week. I am curious to see how it unfolds. And let's go to your cards. Did you have an opportunity to tap into your intuition? Do you want card A, B, or C? For those of you who picked A, this is your card, Nature Spirits. And these are like the little elves or fairy folk. And what I'm getting from this is you definitely need to go out in nature more, but you need to be respectful of the fairy folk that are in nature, okay? The elementals, the elves, the spirits. Some of the other words on this is elves, fairies, rock formations. The elves and fairies and elementals live in some of the rock formations. You see there are times where people put up the little doors. They make the little fairy doors and they put them out in nature. Well, if you get called to make one, put one in on a rock formation because that's where some of the elementals and fairy folk live. So this is very much about tapping into the fairies and the elves and the nature spirits that are out there trying to help the flora and fauna of our natural world that we have so abused. So get out in nature, appreciate nature. Maybe you're called to support nature in some way, to become an environmentalist or something that where you take much more of an interest in nature. For those of you who pick B, you have a very interesting message. Focus on children. This is about pregnancy, birth, and adoption. Now, for those of you who are out there, you want a baby, you want to conceive, maybe this is a very good time to do that. If you have children, it is important that you focus on them, give them the attention that they need, the love that they need, the unconditional love, as mentioned earlier in the reading. If you are like me and you don't have kids, maybe you love your nieces and nephews, or there's children in the neighborhood that you dote on, or there's the other types of babies that we have for some of us are our pets, our companions, and focusing on them um, and their needs. And for some people, it might be their plants or a project, a pet project that is your baby that you're trying to manifest and get off the ground. So focus on the other thing about children and childbirth and pregnancy is the fact that you are making something. You are creating. So for anyone who is not interested in adopting or pregnancy, it's about your creation and what you are going to create in your life. Okay? So focus on creation. For those of you who picked C, it is spirit guides is your message. Your spirit guides want to get in closer connection. You're being called to contact more and get closer in relationship with your spirit guides. Meditate more. Um, the other thing is the words on this card say insight, guidance, purpose. If you have been struggling with what your purpose might be, it's a time to take a time out and meditate and call to your spirit guides to send you signs like birds and other signs. So be listening to songs on the radio or your iPad or a iPod or whatever. Um, you're streaming. Maybe there's a message in a post on Facebook that pops up out of the blue. Um, there's all kinds of ways. Maybe it's a billboard that you pass by. There's all kinds of ways our spirit guides send us messages. One of the ways that they send me a message is feathers, seeing feathers. Sometimes it's also numbers. I saw 1111 yesterday and 444 yesterday. Just by what we think by accident, just by like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 4:44. Oh my God, 4:44. So listen and look for the signs from your guides that you're going in the right direction. Meditate and ask for help. If you have a card deck, use that card deck and ask them what questions you need answered and see what comes out. So, your message is about working with your spirit guides. They're trying to get in touch with you. They can't leave a voicemail. Um, so those are the messages. I think it's an awesome week. I hope that you have many blessings. Let's see. Next Saturday, I will be at the store in La Vista, Solstice in the Vale, and I will actually be doing something a little different next week. Next Saturday, I believe I'm there till from 3 to 7. I will be in the classroom and I'll be um, doing astrology. I'm happy to look at your natal chart if you want to come by and get a natal chart reading. So I'm doing something a little different next week, expanding a little bit. I hope that you come by and I wish you many blessings. And feel free to comment below. Later this week, I'm also going to post another video. It's an unboxing of a tarot deck that I've used previously, but someone asked me if I would show all the cards. So you'll see that later this week. Take care. Many blessings.